because it's a demonstration of who we are when we help other people. That's how we show our intentions. That's how we show what our beliefs are. That's how we show what kind of person we are. I was going to say aspire to be, but it shows who we are. Because you can only be and act in the now. You can't be in the future. So you can't show who you want to be. You show who you are. Whatever you do is an expression of who you are. Hey, JJ. Can you say butterfly?
Butterfly.
Say butterfly.
Butterfly.
Thank you. I just like the way JJ says butterfly. This is the Energy Within podcast, helping you to embrace your weirdness, find the confidence to be your true self, and step fully into your soul's purpose. My name is Carrie Jokala. I am your host. I am a Reiki master teacher, a fitness instructor, a wife, a mom to 2 little boys, and this is episode 148. There's definitely going to be some kid noise in the background again. So, as always, I thank you for your grace and your patience with that. So, before we jump into today's topic, I wanted to say thank you to all of you who were there and or watched the replay of the Energetic Confidence Masterclass. It was so much fun. It was so much work, but so much fun to put together and super fun to present. And we've already got a couple beautiful souls in the Soul Level Confidence Reiki 1 course. And there's still time if that is something that you would like to join. If you've been thinking about learning to do Reiki yourself, this is the first step. And you can take a couple different options. So if you don't need or want any bonuses, you can pay the full price, which is not very much to begin with. And that can also be split into monthly payments. And I can make sure I'll have the link for that in the show notes. However, why wouldn't you want bonuses? So if you already signed up and are on the list for the Energetic Confidence Masterclass, you already have your separate special link that gives you an already discounted price with $100 off. That link should already be in your email. If for some reason you know you're on the list but you don't have that email, please reach out to me. I can confirm that you're on the list and I can make sure that I get you that link. If you want that link so that you can also get $100 off and you also get the option to upgrade and add on the 4 Akashic Records money healing sessions, which is already discounted just on its own, but you'll get it at an even much more discounted price as an upgrade if that's something you'd like to add on. If you want that, you can still sign up for the Energetic Confidence Masterclass where you can watch the replay and it'll answer not only questions about the topics that we covered, of course, but at the end you'll see all the explanation of what it costs, what's included, what the upgrade is about, and that's where you'll be given the link as well in your email that takes you to the page with the already discounted price and the upgrade available. If you just want to jump right in, you don't want to get onto the masterclass list, you're not interested, you don't care about getting the discount, then you can just go to the link in the show notes. But again, I'll make it very clear in the show notes the difference between the one to just sign up at full price and signing up for the Energetic Confidence Masterclass so that you can get the discount. If you have any questions at all, if you've been thinking at all about learning to do Reiki, if you're ready to go on this journey, if anything is holding you up at all, but you know you're being pulled to do it, please reach out and ask any questions you need to. And I am more than happy to answer them for you, offer any help that I can in making it accessible to you, so we can talk about options if needed. So reach out and let me know. Don't be afraid. So we are looking at beginning next week We may end up changing the day that is currently listed at the time I'm recording this in the email sequence that you'll receive when you sign up for Soul Level Confidence, the Reiki 1 course. But we will be looking at starting next week, and it runs for 4 weeks. So you have a little bit of time left from the time this episode is published to still get in on the class, still get that discount. But once we start, that's it. You'll have to wait until the next time around. And there will be another next time around. Of course, I intend to keep doing this. I just have not plotted that timeline out just yet. So this is actually a very nice lead-in, honestly, to today's topic. And I wanted to talk about kind of finding the balance between serving yourself, being selfish in that way, and being of service to others, putting your gifts out into the world. Because there's almost constant debate on whether or not it is okay to seek higher levels of the self, to reach your highest self or not, whether it's better to follow that journey or to serve others in order to reach that highest self. And as always, before we jump in, let me be clear. I'm not saying I have the answer. I'm not saying I have it all figured out. This is just my current perspective in the hopes that maybe it helps you or just gets some wheels turning for you to start thinking about it in your own way. What's interesting, a quick little side note, is I'm almost finished rereading the second Conversations with God book, which in some ways is like reading it for the first time because it's been a long time since I read it, but I do remember certain parts, but I'm also seeing other parts through a different lens now, being in a different place in my life and just in light of things that have happened in the world in the last couple of years. And to be quite honest, there are a couple things where I read it and I go, I don't know that I quite either believe that, or at least I don't feel like I fully understand that. I feel like there's got to be more to it. This doesn't make sense to me. Why would that be in here? And it's too much to try to sum up in just a couple of sentences. It's still a situation where I feel you have to read the entirety of the book to have the fullest understanding of every separate concept that's in there. But it was mentioned that even though, and I do believe that this is a conversation that happened between the author and God, and that it was also meant for other people to read and experience, there's no way to help that the message is still coming through the filter of the author. And God reiterates over and over again that even in potential solutions to problems that he offers to the author in the book, they are not given as the absolute solution, a necessary solution, but rather a potential solution to consider, not in terms of what is meant as right or wrong, but what is likely to be helpful in the context of who we as a collective or even as individuals say that we want to be. So based on where we say we want to go, are we living that way? Are we demonstrating that? Are we creating that? And really, it kind of boils down to the line that you hear a lot, and that I've said before too: take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And to remember that everybody is always seeing things through their own lens, their own filter, backing it up with their own perceptions, their own beliefs, their own experiences. So the point in all of that is God specifically saying too that all of this discussion in those books, and even any discussion that we might have with each other, should be meant to just make you think critically, to make you think for yourself, put it through your own filter, put it through your own desire of who you want to be, what you want the world to look like, how you want to be perceived, what kind of legacy you want to leave behind, what's true for you, what's your reality, what do you want your reality to be, and you go from there. So it's really just meant to get the wheels turning. So I did, of course, again, pull a couple of cards for you before we continue on. And I felt called to get out my fairy oracle deck, which I actually haven't used in probably almost a year. Not because I don't like it. It just didn't seem to be giving the deeper answers to things that I was looking for both myself and other card readings that I was doing at the time. And someone else that I was actually in Reiki courses with did some card pulls recently using this deck, and I just felt drawn back to it then. So it also ties in very nicely, actually, with the upcoming Reiki 1 course. So put it through that lens if you need to. But we got transformation. This fairy tells you to surrender to a transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come. And I actually do want to read you the book explanation on that because it's really good. The caterpillar has no idea it's about to transform into a beautiful butterfly. If you've drawn this card, the fairy of transformation has flown into your reading to remind you that you're transforming or are about to transform. Change can be challenging, but it can also be exciting as you witness your own beautiful transition into a new you. Now, this is super relevant to me because I keep seeing butterflies all over the place, and I even keep seeing monarch butterflies, which I know they're not like super rare, but I can't remember the last time that I just out around in the neighborhood saw monarch butterflies. So butterflies are messengers from the fairy realm. So if you see a butterfly, be aware of what's going on for you in your life or what you were thinking when you saw the butterfly. The butterfly can act as a spiritual exclamation mark, highlighting the answer to the question you asked during the reading. Whatever your current circumstances, know that things are changing and transforming for the highest good of all. The Fairy of Transformation wishes to remind you that change can be more amazing than we ever imagine. When we let go and surrender to the natural changes that occur in our lives, the process of transformation can be a beautiful experience. Change and transformation can also have a ripple effect on those around us. Sometimes people resist change, making it an unpleasant and painful experience. So seeing you willingly transform with love and trust may have a super positive influence on their personal experience of transformation. This fairy tells you which part of yourself and your life are ready to transform, so follow her lead and allow, trust, and flow. All is well. And I won't go all the way into it, but did you hear that? Be the example. Live your life being the light and the love that you wish to see, and let it have its ripple effect, and that's how we transform the world. Hey, JJ, can you say butterfly?
Butterfly.
Say butterfly.
Butterfly.
Thank you. I just like the way JJ says butterfly. We also from the fairy deck got the journey card. It's time to prepare for a journey. It may be impromptu or planned. Either way, make sure you're ready when the time comes. And it could also be an external journey or an internal one. Maybe you're meant to join for Reiki 1. I also pulled one card from the Work Your Light deck, and I shuffled, and a card flew out, and it was a card that I felt, I haven't gone back, and I don't really remember, to be honest, specifically which cards anymore have been pulled in the last couple of weeks, but I felt like this one had come up in, maybe it was on the masterclass. So anyway, so it's the Pillar of Light card. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. But the thing is, I rejected it at first because I felt like maybe I felt like it came up too soon recently. And I'm like, okay, I probably just didn't shuffle well enough. So let me just reshuffle. And I shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. And I wish you could have seen. It was probably one of the better full shuffles I've done in my entire life. And the card came back out again. So I do enjoy when that happens, though, because it's confirmation that, yep, nope, that was the right card. And did you hear the yeah, no? If you're not from the Midwest, you don't know. That's a thing. Yeah, no is like yes, basically. So perhaps this transformation that's happening, clearly an inner transformation, so we must be on an inner journey. You are this pillar of light. You are anchoring light into the planet, raising your vibration and the vibration of the planet. And it specifically says in the book, for too long, we've been taught that God is outside of us, giving away our power to angels and spirit guides. But without you, they do not have a voice. You are the oracle. Do not look for guidance outside, for you hold all of the wisdom of the entire universe in the portal of your heart, in every cell of your body. So we're clearly on this inner journey to, I don't want to say self-discovery, because we're not discovering who we are, we're creating who we are. But we're trying to reach those higher levels, reach our highest potential, embody our highest selves. But then what do we do with this idea that the way to get there is by serving others? And I have come to my own conclusion that it's both, that there's got to be a balance between the two. And that doesn't necessarily mean 50-50 for everybody. And even on an individual basis, it may not mean 50-50 all the time. Because we also hear things like, the cliche, put on your own oxygen mask first. You need to love yourself first before you love others. These are all true things. You need to take care of yourself and understand how you operate, what your beliefs are, what your needs are, who you want to be, where you're headed, and be as secure and rooted as possible in that before you can help anybody else really effectively on their journey. It certainly doesn't mean that you can't still help and inspire people along the way while you're still mid-journey. But if you've still got a lot of struggles left, then maybe that's a sign that you should be taking care of your own journey right now before focusing too much effort on helping other people if you still have some things to sort out yourself. Now, I don't mean that, again, as advice in a way that how dare you try to help anybody if you haven't fully healed. I don't mean it that way. None of us are fully healed. We may never be fully healed. And in a business perspective, they always say you only need to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of the people that you want to help. And I believe that too. So on the flip side, don't expect yourself to be perfect or to have completed your journey in any way before you're qualified to help other people. You're always qualified to help other people. There just may be some things that are worth taking care of for yourself first. And there shouldn't be any shame or guilt or fear or anxiety around doing that. And you shouldn't look at it as any kind of delay. Rather, think of it as you'll have an experience that you can share to help and inspire other people once you complete that part. I think it's incredibly important to learn how to slow down, how to listen to ourselves, how to get back in touch with our intuition, to open up our clair senses as fully as we can. I'm still working on that, but I know there are pieces that definitely are stronger without me trying, and ones that become stronger when I'm intentional, such as being in the middle of a Reiki session or an Akashic Records session. And the more you do it, the more you start to notice patterns for yourself, nudges that are similar, feelings that are similar, certain ways of receiving messages. You'll start to know when it's a divine download or a message or something like that, or your intuition. You'll be able to tell the difference between that and fear. For example, if your intuition was telling you no, you know that it's your intuition versus you just being afraid of doing something. And then, of course, we do have the other side where helping people helps you to figure out who you are, because it's also in alignment with the idea that you will only build your confidence. You will only fully discover what your path is when you start taking steps. So when you start helping other people, when you start following your soul's purpose, you give it the opportunity to evolve and to turn into what it is really meant to be. And maybe it is meant to be what it starts out as. Maybe it just grows rather than changing and evolving. Maybe it simply evolves into something bigger. Or maybe you start one way and you learn more about both yourself and about the people that you feel called to help and what they need, and you allow it to morph and change. And you wouldn't get to that point if you hadn't started. You can only think your way through your path so far before you have to start doing something, because you can sit and think about it all day long. It's probably not going to turn out exactly how you were thinking. And it's through helping others that we create who we really are. So it is an extension and a very important part of our soul's journey and our soul's growth and expansion, of raising our own frequency, our own vibration, because it's a demonstration of who we are when we help other people. That's how we show our intentions. That's how we show what our beliefs are. That's how we show what kind of person we are. I was going to say aspire to be, but it shows who we are, because you can only be and act in the now. You can't be in the future. So you can't show who you want to be. You show who you are. Whatever you do is an expression of who you are. So if there's a certain type of person that you aspire to be, act like you are that person now, because that is the only way to become that person. And we are going to have seasons in life. So this is where the balance comes in, where sometimes we need to go into our cocoon before we can emerge as the butterfly. And other times where we have that inner fire and the desire to help other people. And that is how we learn and grow and expand our own personal soul's journey. And then other times it's going to happen simultaneously. We're doing a little bit of both at the same time. So the whole point is, don't feel bad or guilty about not doing one or the other at any particular point in time. Trust the path, trust your nudges, trust the journey, and just keep going. I know this is cheesy, but seriously, don't look at anything as a mistake. Look at it as something that was maybe even necessary to your learning, to your journey. Whether or not it's something that gets turned around in a way that allows you to help other people. Maybe it's just something that needed to happen for you. And again, in the Conversations with God books, there's so many good references. Sometimes we can only create who we are and experience who we are by momentarily being and experiencing who we are not. You take that piece and you think about it and put it through your own filter and make it make sense to you. And to flip back, we also need to be cautious on both sides, because yes, if we have way too much focus and we remain for longer than we should in the self-serving side, focused only on our own journey to the point where we become selfish and are shutting other people out, then we actually can hinder our own journey and our evolvement and the creation of who we really want to be. We get stuck if we do actually become selfish in that way. It's okay to be selfish in the sense of going on your own soul's journey, focusing on your own path. But we don't want to do it to the point where we're becoming closed off, where we're becoming arrogant, where we're acting like we're better than anybody else for any reason. We want to make sure that we don't go too far to one side of that. And also, we don't want to attach too much of our worth to helping other people. If we start to look at we're only worth what we can do for others, and we haven't fully secured and rooted ourselves in who we really are and taken care of that journey, then there's a huge imbalance on that side. And then we can start to feel depressed and we feel unworthy in so many other areas of our lives if we're unable for any reason to show up the way we think we're expected to for other people, or if we start letting other people take advantage of us. Boundaries are still important. And in fact, Conversations with God, book 2. Here we go. Apparently, this podcast is turning into a book study. Sorry. Not sorry. But for one, it says, all your life, you have been taught that it is better to give than to receive. Yet you cannot give what you do not have. So if you don't have that security in who you are, it's going to be a little bit less effective when you're trying to help other people on their journeys. And these are separate quotes, but to me, they all go together here. So putting yourself first does not mean being what you term selfish. It means being self-aware. And from a little bit of a different perspective with helping people, just one other perspective I want to offer. It's also one thing to help people who want to be helped. It's another thing to try to not only insist or force help, but also making sure that you're not offering help in a way that makes other people dependent on you or dependent on a thing or a certain service or a certain system or something like that. You help other people learn how to help themselves, basically. No matter what the topic is or the situation is, the idea and the most loving way to help someone is to empower them to be able to then continue, at least, to help themselves. And sometimes it means, yes, fully outright helping somebody rather than just, hey, here's some tools, go help yourself. Actually helping somebody. But then, beyond that point, teaching them how to maintain that or to continue helping themselves as best they can. It doesn't mean we never help each other and we always expect everybody to help themselves. That's not what that means. But it means that when we do offer help, we don't do it in a way that makes them dependent, like I said, on any of us, any other person, any other thing, place, system, whatever. So literally from the book, when is it disempowering to offer help? When your help is offered in such a way that it creates continued dependence rather than rapid independence. That is not compassion, that is compulsion. You have a power compulsion because that sort of helping is really power tripping. And there's a little mention of when Jesus was helping people, because I know that people would question too, like, why didn't Jesus just cure everybody or help everybody? And on the flip side, if people are on their own soul's journeys, fulfilling their own soul's contract, why heal them if that was part of their soul's contract to maybe be blind or to be whatever ailment that they had? Jesus knew that if he gave people the help they asked for, rather than merely the help he wanted to give, that he was empowering them at the level at which they were ready to receive empowerment. We have to meet not only ourselves where we're at, but also to meet other people where they're at. And that's where we act out of love. That's where we don't allow any room for acting like we're better than anybody or feeling like anybody else is better than us. We step outside of it all and into that understanding that while, yes, we should absolutely help each other, we are all on our own journey, at our own speed, on our own path, all headed, I believe, to the same place, the same basic wants and needs and ideas and overall core goals. And you can't force somebody, and nobody should be able to force you to move along that path faster or in a different way than you feel called to. If an opportunity shows up and it feels aligned, that's one thing. But suffice it to say, just in this little section, the caveat that we do have to be cautious on both sides of this balance. So I hope this was helpful. I know we didn't get super deep into the topic, but I wanted to keep this one short because I think that's really the short answer, is that there's a balance between the two, and the balance isn't always the same. Balance doesn't mean 50-50. Balance means we honor where we are and what needs our attention in this particular season. And we don't feel guilty or ashamed about not tending to the other side when one side needs more attention. We trust that it's going to ebb and flow. Let go and surrender. For some reason, once in a while when I say that, all I can think about is the Wizard of Oz and Surrender Dorothy. Who's Dorothy? Anyway, so let me encourage you one more time to take a look at soul level confidence, Reiki 1, self-healing and self-confidence, this incredible, exciting 4-week journey to learn how to become your own healer, build your confidence, and really be the leader for yourself on your soul's journey. You may come away with more clarity on your soul's purpose through this. I know that's a big part of what happened for me in learning how to do Reiki. And it doesn't mean necessarily that doing Reiki as a business is part of your soul's purpose, but maybe it's something you incorporate with your current business or something else you want to turn into a business or a side hustle. Or it could just be a tool that you learn to take with you to help you on your own journey through life or your own career or business path. If you have any questions at all, please reach out and let me know. Again, both links will be in the show notes. I'll try to make it as clear as possible. The first link, where it'll say about soul level confidence, will be to just go right to full price. Option to do a split payment plan, but no upgrades, no extras. And if you would like the $100 discount and the option to upgrade and add on the extra discounted Akashic Records money healing sessions, that link will be the one that involves getting on the list for the Energetic Confidence Masterclass, which you can still go and watch the replay of, both in the Facebook group and on Zoom. But you do have to be on the email list because it is in the emails that you will get the link that sends you to the page with the already discounted price. So there's no coupon codes or anything fancy to enter. You just need to make sure that you have the link from those emails. So if any of that's confusing, if you have any questions, please let me know. The short version is get on the list for the Energetic Confidence Masterclass, even though it already happened. Still get on the list because that's how you get the discounted price and the option to upgrade. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. It's 11:11 on the recording bar as I say that. And I will see you next time.